In this video, I'm going to share with you my tips for getting better at Apex Legends. These are the tips that I'm using to get better at Apex Legends, and it's working. If you're new here to the Anthony Anna YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up. Now without further ado, let's jump into Apex Legends and I'll share with you these secrets for getting better at Apex Legends. Let's go. Number 1 is game modes. Now, as an Apex Legends player, if you play Apex Legends quite frequently, you might find yourself selecting the same game mode repetitively. This is because you feel like this is the game mode that you have the best chance in winning. But what you might want to do is try a variety of game modes. For example, if you're playing trios quite often, jump into a duos match. What this does is it gets your brain thinking about the different possibilities in the game mode that you're currently in. For example, if you're in a duos match, you know that if you're just taking out 2 players, you're most likely taking out that squad, and you also have that voice interaction from your legend telling you if you've wiped the squad. This then gets you to think about looking for another squad. Trying different game modes within Apex Legends is going to widen your aspect ratio of your brain when you're playing this battle royale. You are going to think about more different types of scenarios that you could be up against when you're in a battle royale. If you played a lot of trios, you might be thinking in a more of a singular mindset of what can I do if my teammate has been taken out, and then you will be able to tackle the situation of your whole squad has been wiped, you're left, and you have to revive a teammate. That's one example of how this can work for you and make you better at Apex Legends. Number 2, know the strengths and weaknesses of the legends. Let's say you've got a Bloodhound in your vicinity and Bloodhound is not scanning. You know that you are leaving behind a footprint that Bloodhound can anticipate, and his crows are anticipating different moves you are making. But you won't be thinking about this if you haven't seen the Bloodhound or you haven't anticipated that Bloodhound can do this. This can land you in a spot where Bloodhound is not using his scan mode, but he's able to anticipate where you have moved because he is close by. So when you've seen that Bloodhound, you can now anticipate every move that you're making in a rock paper scissors sort of scenario, where you know that Bloodhound is going to know that you've just leaped on top of a ledge or you've just jumped through a door or knocked a door or opened a door. Bloodhound will know this if he's close by, and you can anticipate this strength if you know that this player is using this against you. In another scenario that this can be absolutely helpful is of course the weaknesses. If you're using a specific legend and this legend has a weakness, for example short range, or the abilities have short range, or you know how long the ability lasts for, this is going to help you anticipate that enemy squad, because that seer on that team is not going to have his heart out on the battle arena all the time, and of course when he's used his scan for one moment, you know how long it's going to take in between each scan. This helps you take advantage of those weaknesses. But not only that, if you're using that player, let's say for example you were using Lifeline and you've just used Doc, you know how long it's going to take yourself to use that Doc again, and that is a weakness that can be exploited. So therefore, if somebody can hear your Doc, you know that they will know that you've just used your Doc. If that makes sense, they will know if you've used your ability, especially if you're up against a high level squad, especially if you're in that late game and the circle or the storm or the ring rather is really small. Certain noises they can anticipate. Which brings us to our next point and our next tip, which is watch and listen. Watching and listening in this battle royale is so important. You might as well take a moment to step back if you have the chance to do so, and I advise you to do so. The longer you're in the battle royale game, the more you can learn about how other players are anticipating you and anticipating the battle arena and anticipating the game mode that you're in. You can then learn how to avoid being hit or how to avoid planting yourself in a scenario where you are most likely going to get knocked. This can also give you an advantage when you can plan ahead of how to push an enemy squad or what to do next if an enemy squad has used an ability. So sitting back every now and then and watching what your squad is doing and other squads can really be great when you're watching and listening to what's going on, because this gives you more possibilities that you can anticipate from the scenario that you're faced with. This can really be helpful, and you can learn a lot from watching and listening. Even if you're down and you're out, if your squad is still in, I advise you to watch for as long as you can bear it. Watch and you will learn so much, especially if you have a headset and you're able to listen. Also, watching and listening can help you anticipate a squad that might be planning to push you or an enemy player who is hiding close by. The fourth tip in this list is learn your weapons. The reason why this is absolutely crucial in Apex Legends is because there are changes to the weapons. So as you know, with different seasons, there are changes that are made to the weaponry, and this can extremely change the way you play the game. For example, the Wingman is now a sniper ammo weapon, and it really does show when you're using that weapon because it can cause some damage, especially if you're going for a long range headshot. It is an improvement on the Wingman, and knowing how to use the Wingman is definitely going to come to your advantage. But if you haven't picked up the Wingman at all, you won't know how to use the weapon, and you also won't know how to anticipate somebody who's using that weapon and uses it very well. So learning the weapons, maybe going into the firing range and just testing things out, test the range, recoil and more, can help you to anticipate bullets that are flying your way. But if you're in a scenario where you've just run out of bullets, you're in a high pushed scenario, someone's trying to push you, you've just picked up a weapon, you will know how to use that weapon if you've tried it already in the firing range. So rather than fumbling around and not sure how to use that high recoil weapon, you will know how to use it if you've tried it before. Try the firing range out, try some weapons out, and see how they work for you. And the last tip in this video is going to be your mood. So of course, if you're not in the mood for a battle royale game like Apex Legends, you're most likely going to quit early. Rather than anticipating that you might have an absolute amazing squad in a public game, or you might be starting ranked and you might be playing with the players that you play with in your gaming career, maybe your streaming career, rather than quitting early because you're not in the right mood set and you're not feeling up to it, if you stay just a little bit longer, you might find yourself having a lot of fun, and you will also learn a lot on the way. By quitting early, you're leaving the possibility of learning so much. The more you watch, learn and play Apex Legends, the better you are going to get. So being in the right mood to take a battle when your squad is pushing, or to maybe think about what your next movement is and use the other tips that I've taught you about here in this video, you will be better at the game because you will be in the mood to want to learn more, and rather than feeling like a loser, you're going to feel like a winner 24/7 because you know that you're learning and getting better even when somebody is pushing you because they've been playing the game longer, or maybe they're just better with that weapon, or maybe they just got lucky. So rather than feeling like you're just not up to it, if you're in the right mood, you're definitely going to learn a lot more because you're going to be open to learning from those situations. And that is my tips for getting better in Apex Legends. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and also subscribe. If you like this video or you have any questions or anything, or you'd like to get in touch, hit me up in that comment section down below. There should be some more content that you see on screen now, and remember, you are awesome. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.